Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creatively on Sunday the 8th of June 2025 with FLOSSTUBE number 270. Welcome back to my weekly YouTube channel about counted cross stitch on a bright day after a week of mostly of rain. The sun is here and I'm like, oh, too much. Anyway, not one for the sun, me, but anyway, I don't actually feel that great today. I think I've got a little cold. Either it's a really little cold, just enough to make me feel a bit shit, or it's developing. I'm hoping it's not developing. I don't really have the energy to be sick right now, but I don't feel great today, so bear with me. I've got sinus things happening. I feel a bit warm. I feel really tired and I've got such stuff to do. I don't want to do any of it. But anyway, here I am. I don't even know. What's going on? Work is a lot. It was a pretty busy week. Been a short week and having to kind of feel like we had to cram 5 days worth of stuff into 4 with last Monday being a holiday. And thank goodness it was I needed that long weekend last weekend, but I don't know, what else did I do? Thursday evening went into Wellington to a film in the French Film Festival. It was called, in English, the name was Holy Cow. I don't think that's what its name was in French though. What was it? Can't remember now. It was a really weird little film, I guess. Slice of life. A young lad and his much younger sister suddenly having to orphaned, with their father gets killed in a drunk driving, and it was funny. It was funny and quirky and sweet, but weird. Like, it just ended and it was like, okay, I don't quite know how to feel about it, but certainly not, with everything resolved. It wasn't one of those happy ending kind of films. It was definitely, a slice of life dropped in for a particular, chapter in these young people's lives, and the relationship between the lad and his very young sister was just lovely. She was such a lovely little thing. Like, she looked wise beyond her years, and she had like an older face. I don't know how, like, she probably was like 8 or 9 maybe in the movie, but she looked like when she hits her 40s she's going to be stunning. Like, she's going to be the same age face for her whole life. So she looks wise and old. Anyway, she's just stunning, this stunning wee girl, but with this very mature sort of face. She was just, they were fun. It was lovely, but it was weird. I'm not quite sure what to feel about it. We enjoyed it though. Got another one coming up. I can't remember what it is. My friends just booked them and I just said, yeah, whatever. I'll go to anything pretty much. So what else did I do? Yesterday, Saturday, took a friend out for lunch for her birthday. Her birthday was in the last week, and I'm quite impressed because the last couple of years I don't seem to have been able to get my shit together and go out for anyone's birthday around their own birthday, including my own. So within a week of her birthday, and the last friend I took out for their birthday was 2 months later. So I'm really impressed with that. What else have I done? I think that's kind of it. Just, been working. I actually had a few days off stitching. I ended up with a really bad blister on my thumb. I purchased I upgraded a couple of shelving units for my spare room because I've outgrown them with books and stuff, and the ones I had in there were kind of small and temporary, and because of my spare room, the room with the fractal birds, I have a window, and either side of it's only about 600 millimeters wide, and it's quite hard to find bookcases that fit in that narrow space. And I had been, anyway, you know, keeping an eye out online, wanting to get something a bit bigger, like taller, to fill in that space, you know, proper wood, not laminated, whatever you call that stuff, where you iron that stuff onto fiberboard. I don't even know. No words. And anyway, blah, blah, blah. I've been watching, I found a couple last year, but they only had one in stock. I was like, oh, I can't be bothered waiting for pre-order. Anyway, I cut a long story slightly shorter. There were 2 in stock of this place in Auckland, so I purchased them. Unfortunately, they were unassembled. They are wood, like, you know, proper screws and proper wood. Like, they're solid, but they were unassembled. And there were lots of, and because of where the screws are, you couldn't use an electric screwdriver, like electric drill, because they were too close. The screws had to go in too close to the side, so I had to hand screw everything. And there's something like 60 screws. So I slowly put it together over the week, including the fact that I did something to my bloody hip. My other hip, my left hip, last weekend when we were stitching. I don't know what I did. It just something weird. Anyway, so it's up and down off the floor, like at lunch break and after work and stuff. I've got massive blister, so it is sort of healing, but I couldn't really, I'm right-handed, and that's exactly where the needle touches. So I actually had to take a few days off stitching, which is fine, you know, it is what it is. But I did catch up with a bit of a flourish on Friday and Saturday. Like, I did a little bit on, you know, the bookcases didn't get delivered until Tuesday, so I didn't start putting one together until Tuesday at lunchtime. So I had, you know, Sunday and Monday to stitch. Monday was a holiday, so I did a lot, and then I had Friday and Saturday. So all my stitching pretty much got done in those 4 days. But it was just a weird week for me. So, and now I feel like I'm getting a cold. So all in all, it is what it is. I'm probably going to do a second video after this one. My lovely friend Narissa, Narissa's Stitching Lifestyle, her YouTube channel, she popped up I think she roughly does fortnightly, 2 weekly videos, and she popped hers up last night, bit of a sneaky. And nearer the end of it, like maybe the last third, she went through her planned starts for hashtag stash sampler starts, which is in August and September. It's something she started doing a couple of years ago, and I joined her a couple of years ago, and I'm joining her again this year, where we're going to start a bunch of samplers from our stash, hence the name Stash Sampler Starts, and also stitch on samplers that we've already, you know, whips and stuff. And I did it a couple of years ago, and I started 9, because there were 9, whatever, I think I started on Thursdays or whatever. There were 9 Thursdays in that 2-month period. Well, she went through her planned starts, and we've got 2 the same, which was without colluding. And then the others are very different. So if you want to go and catch her, Narissa's Stitching Lifestyle, again, about 2/3 of the way through. I might just do a separate video to do mine. I'll just do a quick little extra video showing them. So that might go up today or sometime over the next week. I'm not sure when I'll do it. Depends how I feel. And then it's still a couple of months away from us starting. Again, August and September. So it bleeds into Sampler September. But it just gives, if anyone wants to join in, or might trigger some people to, trigger is a bad word, might encourage people who might have some beautiful things sitting in their stash, and give you some time to get together if you want to join us. We also, you know, when I say use the hashtag, I'm so terrible at posting on social media. I just don't have time. But imagine I was posting on social media more. Then we might also use hashtag stash sampler stitching. So if you don't want to start new things but you want to focus on your samplers, then you've got your stash sampler stitching. So basically it's things we've got in our stash, maybe not for a long time, but for me some of them have been in there for a long time, and rather than just having them sitting in a cupboard waiting to be started, let's get them started so we can enjoy them, even if they take us 5, 10, however long to finish, because I've still got a couple from 2023 that are not anywhere near finished, but I have finished some, so that's the main thing. So yeah, watch out for that extra little video, I think. Other than that, I think let's just get into showing you some stitching and stuff. I've only got one stash acquisition to share with you. It came a little bit quicker this month. My May threads from Tom and Lily Thread Club. And for May is Melanie writes, take a peek at the May thread pack, May Gemstones. That's the theme, a carefully curated selection delivered right to your door. This month's theme captures the delicate charm of luscious, mysterious gemstones, blending fresh pigments and unique dyeing techniques to create a soft, airy palette, perfect for your seasonal stitching projects. In this pack, you'll find a mix of colour gems threads with shifting dynamic tones alongside more subtle nuanced shades. I put them onto my floss drops with my label maker. So all of these ones this month have names, gemstone names, or I don't know that the gemstone names. If one's called sorbet, but I'm just gonna spread out the colours for you, and they are beautiful. So this is the May 2025 floss pack. They are 10 skeins of over-dyed cotton. They're all 8 metre skeins from France. And those are the beautiful, beautiful colours. There's a couple of variegated bluey-greeny ones. And then these ones are all pretty solid. I mean, they've got subtle variation, but I think they're beautiful. So that was a lovely surprise to get that in the mail. That's the only new thing that I've got to show you off. Yeah, let's get into the stitching. First up, I had a new start. You'll recall I was planning to start Forest for the Trees. So Christine and I started this over the weekend, last weekend, by Ink Circles. We're both stitching the same chart. I think we're using different fabric, but we're both using the called for, I believe, floss. So I'm on 40 count, hand dyed by me, using the called for Classic Colorworks, and it's a sale with Christine, and I started mine on the 1st of June. And on the 1st of June, so that must be Sunday, I got all of the border in, and I love it. It's so pretty and delicate, and just varying numbers of little green triangles, and then every now and then a little red one. And then on the Monday evening, I think it was, I got just some of the actual insides done, probably about 4 colours, and I love it so much. It's so cute and pretty. So very happy with my start on that one. I haven't really discussed this with Christine, but I intend for this to be finished this year. I try not to, samplers accepted, try not to start too many big things this year that I won't finish, that I couldn't, because I just don't want to go into next year with, 50 whips. But anyway, that's my new start for the 1st of June. Next up, I have, I kept working on Birdy Boulevard. This is Carolyn Manning Designs, one of her It Takes a Village collection. So I'm on 28 count Lugana, the colour Little Boy Blue from Country Stitch. And you can see by my wee card that I have a finish. I just kept stitching on it. It was sort of so easy because it's, on 28 count, and sometimes I enjoy big stitching. And I just got just wanted to finish it. So there she is. I had to do all of the, I had to do the sides basically. So I had all the vertical, like I had all these 4 rows done, and I had to do the side rows. So I got them all in. They're so much fun, these designs. They're just, I don't usually do whimsy, but for some reason I don't mind these. But this one certainly has some amazing colours, and yeah, really thrilled to get that one done. I enjoyed it more than the Christmas one, the gingerbread one, only because the gingerbread one had all those bloody snowflakes that you had to do. They were a pain in the bum. But yeah, nice to have another finish, especially since I just added a start. And the only other piece I worked on this week was my Under the Red Blues. I don't know where my... I've buried the cover, but I've got so much stitch. There's only a couple of rows, a bit at the top to do. But Under the Red Blues by Isabelle Vautier. This is my red thread project. This was started back in 2023, not as part of hashtag Stash Sample Starts, but just in July ahead of that. So I had a red sampler on the go. Keen to get this finished so that I'm kicking off a new red sampler as part of my Stash Sample Starts. 40 count Kauri linen from Country Stitch using Gentle Art Claret. And I finished another skein of Claret. Did I start with 7? I think I had 7 skeins to start with, and then I purchased 2 more, so 9 skeins. And I've started the second to last one. So I think that I think that's right. I think I've used, did I just say 9? So I've used 7 skeins, and I've got, yeah, just a little bit less than 2 left. So I've got plenty to finish. This isn't going to fit in the frame anymore. So you've seen that bottom for ages. I've got to put my initials in the last year in there. But I kind of neglected this most of the week. But I did get, last night I got, I can't remember where it was last week, but last night I got the borders, these 2 borders from about here up on both sides, and I had a little bit of this border done on the left. Had a little bit of this border done during the week when I did those, and then I got the first 4 initials, first 4 letters of that last row. So I've just got E, F, G and H to go, and then there's a couple of, another one of these rows, and then some other border, and yeah, we're getting there. Got much to go. She's getting close to being finished, but yeah, it doesn't fit in the frame anymore. I love it so much. And I'm a little bit sick of that border, but I'm glad I've just been chewing away at it as I've moved up, because it hasn't become too tedious. But that is my stitching for the week. So not bad, considering I pretty much didn't do much for 4 days due to big ugly blister on my thumb. I thought I'll grab some more of my past finishes out of the cupboard. And what did I go with this time? I decided to go with the reproduction samplers. So samplers that I had finished that were based on reproduction charts. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 6 at the moment, I think. Yeah, I think all the others are modern samplers. So I'm gonna show you them in order that I finished them. And first up is one that's on the wall. So I'll just insert a little bit of video. And here's a Red Deer sampler by GGR, framed and hanging on my wall, and tons of personalizations in this one. I used all my own over-dyed threads and changed the deer a bit. This deer appears in a lot of samplers, and it's a it kind of looks like it's a bit weird. I've changed how its eyes were and stuff. I don't know why I made them blue, but in the design that obviously a lot of stitches used, the eyes were quite far up in the forehead, so I just moved them down a little bit. Anyway, it's quite personalised, and up there's year I stitched it, and then down here I've got a rechart of my name and my year of birth and a whole bunch of other personalisations. I know it looks like a couple of these motifs are not finished, they're just really pale. I quite like that a couple of them are like ghost flowers. That one there's very similar to the fabric. Love it. Red Deer Sampler by GGR on 36 count pumice linen from Country Stitch, using my own overdyed cotton conversion, mostly Victoria Motto Sampler Shop threads. This was started on my birthday, so it was a birthday start in 2021, 18th of January, finished on the 27th of June 2021 at an FFO. I got it framed. I picked it up on the 31st of December 2022. Gonna sneeze. Next up to show you off is Anne Morrison circa 1830. This is a Hands Across the Sea chart that was an exclusive with Traditional Stitches in Canada, and the chart was loaned to me from Judith, and I wanted to get it back to her quite quickly. So as you can see, I stitched it in a month. I stitched mine on 40 count parchment linen from Country Stitch, and I used my own silk conversion, a whole lot of random silks. So there were Silks for You. I used some there was some Averissois, not Swadage, I used 103. I had just some other brand, 103 thread. There was a couple of random ones from, there was at least one that was a Soie Perlite, no, it was a Krenak silk, which I didn't like the texture of, but I liked the colour. So yeah, it was all just random. So that was a start on the 5th of December 21, finished on the 31st of December 21, and I personalised it. So here she is. So yeah, all my own silks are going to be different because I think it was sold as a kit on a, might be a 45 count kit. I can't remember now. So I personalised it and put my maternal grandparents in here. So Roy and Joan Hall, and they were married in March 1938. And then in the initials and stuff through here, all the little initials are their initials of their children. I've got up here their initials there, so that was my grandmother's maiden name. So she was Joan Doreen Ibbotson and married Roy Malcolm Hall, and then all the initials are to do with the kids. So I'm reading backwards. So I've got Barry, what was his, Barry, I don't remember what his middle name was. Maybe it was Gordon? I don't think it was Barry Graham. Can't remember. Barry was the eldest. They've got Margaret Ann, my Auntie Anne. Then they stopped giving middle names. So Janet, Lynn, the twins. So my mum, Mari and Claire were twins. And then the youngest, Lawrence Harold. That was, yeah, the two boys bookended the girls. That's what I did for that one. I love it. These are all eyelets around here. Eyelets. Love these Scottish letters. She's a lovely little sampler. And yeah, thanks again to Judith for sharing that chart with me. So that's the second one. Next up was, where is that one? Rachel Holmes. Oh, my nose. Rachel Holmes from Hutt String Samplery. So this one was 32 count light mocha, just one of the Swagger standard range, using again my own silk conversion. This one I started on, this was a 50 at 50 start, so I started on the 1st of September 2022, the first day of spring, and I finished it on the 30th of January 2023. This one I personalised for my a maternal great aunt, my grandfather's sister, Auntie Moo, Muriel Grace Hall, she was born. So I think I've talked about this a lot. Just it was a pretty sampler, and it reminded me of spending time with my Auntie Moo when we were little, and she had lovely things in her china cabinet, like pretty little ornaments and tea sets and things, and we were allowed to carefully play with her, like take things out and pretend to have cups of tea, and just we were allowed to touch them. And this prettiness of this reminded me of her china cabinet. It's just a fond memory I have of being, she passed away when I was, when did she die? Did I have the date? She died in 1980, so I was 8. So I just, yeah, we would have been, the memories are like from when I was like 6 and 7 kind of thing. So yeah, my sister was a couple of years younger than me. My sister is a couple of years younger than me. So yeah, my own silk conversion. Probably if I was stitching it again, I might make her name a little bit darker. It's a little bit light, but you've got Muriel Grace Hall there. And 1910 is the year she was born. And then of course, yeah, my own colors. So love the panels of, this is a panel of eyelets. So again, if you don't love doing eyelets, maybe don't pick this design. And then it's all satin stitch, kind of in a herringbone bargello pattern. Yeah, it's full of eyelets and a bit of satin stitch. I love the randomness of it. It's such fun doing this sampler, and it's so pretty. Again, it's just a sweet little sampler that I personalised as I'm wont to do. Next up, I've got Mary Jane Fry, 1861 by the, you can read it, I can't, Solitary Stitcher. This is on 36 count Victorian Motto Sampler Shop fabric that had no name. Using my own cotton conversion, theme developing, right? When do I ever use the called for? Very rarely, it turns out. This was a birthday start, birthday sampler start on the 18th of January 23 for my 51st birthday, and I finished it on the 12th of March 2023. Mary Jane. And this one, I love the warm, nutty fabric, and it had a very, I've forgotten what I was going to say, a very small palette, like it was only like 5 or 6 threads, and of course, yes, it was very easy to convert. And I just, in all vanity, put my name, my name and the year I stitched it just down there. And I love the colours, they're very me. I love this nutty warm fabric. It's a really simple sampler. It was a real quick one, and I just think it's absolutely darling. I need to get that one framed. I need to get most of these framed. Okay, next up is a sampler that I've actually stitched for my niece. I need to get it framed for her one day. I will. This is Heather M. Jardine, 1933. This was a stitch along with Hayley Zeb, the hashtag Heather M. Jardine sale. So yeah, it was a Hands Across the Sea. It was only a PDF. It was originally a gift with, I can't remember the story now. It was originally a free PDF that was given to people who subscribed to one of the exclusives. It may even have been Anne Morrison, but don't quote me on that. And then because it has a New Zealand connection, the original sample had a New Zealand connection, and then the model, when it was restitched, was personalised with another New Zealand connection. A few people reached out and said, hey, can we have this available? So blah, 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 hands across the sea, issued it, made it available for people to purchase. So few people at the time did a sale with it. So yeah, I've called it a New Zealand sampler reproduction. And it's, I stitched mine on 36 count Riverstone linen from Country Stitch, and I used a partial DMC conversion. And I did a lot of personalization. Mine looks very different, and I changed colors, I changed motifs. I used the New Zealand, I used the over one sort of saying sentiment. So mine's very different. So yeah, some of the colors are really different. I completely changed the color of the peacock. The parrots are different to what they're charted for. Down the bottom has the English and Te Reo Māori for what is courageous woman, successful woman, resolute woman. The colours are weird. My niece is a bit weird, so I kind of felt that fit with her. Put her initials down here. I just sort of made out my own font that sort of emulated what the charted was. I've put her year of birth down here, 2001. I left the kiwi snail in. I added in this lily of the valley, which is the national flower of Finland, I think. My niece has, her dad's half Finnish, so she's a Finnish surname. I added in, I swapped out the teddy bear for koala because they live in Australia now. Parrots are very, and I added in a kōwhai, a New Zealand flower, because obviously she's in Kiwi. So heaps of differences. Up here there was this weird wreath thing. I changed that out, and then over one I wrote for Brianna from Auntie Leigh, and I just put 24 for the year. So I need to get this framed and get it to her. So that is a very, very highly personalized sampler. That was a fun challenge though. I really enjoyed it. And the last reproduction sampler that I pulled is TGA Redwork sampler. This is the most recent finish. This is from Just Stitching Along. I stitched this one on 35 count shortbread linen from Country Stitch using, you guessed it, my own overdoe conversion, which I didn't follow. I stitched a little bit randomly. There's quite a bit of personalization in this one. This was a stash sampler start for 23. Started on the 5th of August 23, finished in October last year. So here she is here. Love it. You would have seen this last year. Just random threads. I used, I don't even remember, like the reds, the different reds are not necessarily stitched where the charted was. The border was already uneven and weird, and I kind of got it even more wrong, so it's more uneven and weird. I put my initials down there, LAM, instead of what the TGA, which is what the Redwork sampler called for. Those bits in the middle with the greenery are different. Like I added more greenery because I think some of them were blue and purple. It was really weird. Anyway, I really love it. It's nice to have a long horizontal one. And what else can I say about it? Don't know. Happy to have it in my finish pile, and like all the others, really needs to get framed. So that is the end of my show and tell from the cupboard of finishes. I don't know what I'll pull out next week. They're going to get increasingly random, but as I said, keep an eye out for an extra video. I sort of feel like I probably have enough energy to do it now, so I might have a wee drink and then pull out that box of proposed starts and film that as a separate video and get that up. So first of all, I've got giveaway. I had some linens from Fibre Flare that Courtney had offered up for people, and I had some keywords, so I do have a couple of winners. No one wanted the storm, so that's fine. I will just hang on to that and take it back to the next stitchy thing, and or give it back to Courtney and or offer it up another day, but that's fine. But we do have local winners for these two. Where's my bit of paper? Everyone's got such long usernames. Anyway, so first up I did, I've lost them. First of all, for some reason I did Forest first, so this one was Forest. And Jodie, my friend Jodie from Taranaki, Darth Vader Stitcher 3519, you won the Forest fabric. I have your address, so I'll get that off to you. Because you have won a few of my giveaways over the last 150 years of me doing this. And then the second one I did was Pond, and this is gone to Tracy Evans KV2UU. I don't know that I know you, Tracy. I'm presuming you're New Zealand, because I did say New Zealand only. Please send me your address to my email. It's in the doobly-doo, but leebling1919@gmail.com, and I'll get that in the mail to you, as long as you're in New Zealand, because I just, you know. And yeah, no one put in for, well, at least the random comment picker didn't pick up the word storm, so unless storm was spelled incorrectly, no one put the name in for the storm fabric. That's fine. I also want to say thank you. You know who you are. I had a very generous coffee donation last week, so I really appreciate that. It was beyond generous, so that it does help, but also thank you very much. I do appreciate it a lot. I don't take it for granted. And that's pretty much it, really. I've watched a little bit of FLOSSTUBE. I have been not watching a lot of FLOSSTUBE of late, just it's MasterChef season, so I have both MasterChef Australia and Taskmaster, UK Taskmaster, and so sort of those are kind of go-tos for me when they're on, because Taskmaster brings me such absolute joy, and I just really like MasterChef Australia. So it means YouTube's been a little bit neglected, but can't do it all. So do appreciate that you guys find time to come and watch me, because I don't always get time to go and watch other people, which, you know, it's just how it is sometimes. Winter, usually I get to watch a bit more because, you know, the weather goes crap and you stay home, but we'll see. I'm going to go. I appreciate you all, and as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.